and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since, and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work.
Right, the first thing to say is, can you hear me okay? Because I've got a new mic on and I'm just testing it out. Hopefully I won't need to shout. I'm just going to put my heart rate on as well while we're here. Let me know if this sounds terrible, because if it does, then I won't use it next time. And if it does, I can put my other microphone back on. Ace Ventura, yeah, I've got a blue sleeveless t-shirt. Victoria says sound is rubbish. Is it? Honestly? How rubbish? When you say rubbish, right, TV Guy Australia says yes, I can hear you, but is the sound any good? Right, I need to catch up with Laura, who is up ahead. Right, Atana 007 says it's not as good as the other one. Tina Beard says it's a bit tinny. Leo says it's a little low. Okay. So we might need to go back to the old mic then. If it's not as good. Might just need to do some work on getting it to sound better. Should we do? Okay, we'll go to the old mic then. Let me just catch up with everybody, and then I'll put the old microphone on. Bear with me. Yeah, Ace Ventura says the sound quality is poor. Clive Finnemore says not as good as the mic, but we can hear you. Fire Leather on YouTube says it sounds like you're in a tunnel. And Victoria says not good sound quality. Ryan Perrin, yes, because my wife is washing every single one of my other Zwift vests. So we're back to the old-fashioned blue vest. Right, let me change over mics then. Hang on a second. Oh. I need to press a button.
Right, are we on? Is that better? Are we back on the old mic now? Just let me know if we are back on the old mic. I'll take this new mic off. Oh, I need to slow down. I'm now miles ahead of Laura Siddall. So Laura Siddall is a triathlete, by the way. And we are running with her for 40 minutes today. I've got a spider hanging from the ceiling, just in front of my lights. Laura is... I think she's based a lot of the time in Australia or New Zealand. She is British, born in Nottingham, I think. And she's an age group triathlete. Now she's 40 now, so she's an age group triathlete, but world champion in her time. And it's good to have these professional triathletes and professional runners regularly doing groups with us. So thank you to Laura for organising this run today, or being in this run today. And it's a 40-minute run where I don't know exactly the route we're going. Maybe I can find out. Hang on. So we're going on the volcano circuit, okay. Don't know why we've got all those numbers there. But anyway, yeah, going on the volcano circuit. I'll just slow down a bit so that Laura catches us up. I'll take this terrible mic off. Well, it was an idea, wasn't it? Let's take that power away as well, because we're not having power today. No need for power on a run like this. There we go, all neat and tidy. Yeah, I don't know what those numbers are, Ryan. Something wrong with that. TV guy says the mic sounds good now. Leo says good. Tina Beard, yes. Kyle Finnemore, ideal. Well, the thing is, I have worked on the sound from this mic for a long time to get it right, so it should sound fairly good. And that's my first test with that new little mic. I say new, I've had the equipment for ages, but I've never bothered to try with it really. So I thought I'd give it a go. Because it could, you know, a bit of EQ maybe, and I don't know. Right, shall I put camera angles on? I'm going to put camera angles on. If I go off, then I'll just have to turn around and, oh, mind you, it is a nightmare, isn't it? If I go off and I can't turn around. Atana 007 says it sounds more like Stephen. And Ryan Perring says if it ain't broke, well, yes, it isn't broken, but I was just thinking, because this often feels like it's in my way, and also in the way of the camera. So I was just thinking of maybe ways that I could kind of get rid of this blockage in front of me and feel a bit freer. Anyway, there we are. Right. Laura Siddall has sped up a little bit now, so we will do the same. Laura Siddall says, any race recommendations I should look to do in 2021? Fingers crossed we may get back to semi-normal. I've got some ideas for her, shall I tell her? Bear with me. What do you think I'm going to say, Ryan? Right, heart rate 129, taking it as easy as I can today whilst still sticking with Laura. Obviously did a race this morning, only short, but it was still a race, so just don't want to push it too hard tonight. She'll love that. Oh no, my camera's died. That's no good. Everyone's loving Cornwall. 28 minutes to go of our run with Laura Siddall. And I'm hoping that she isn't going to race off, because this is quite nice, the fact that Laura is running at a speed that a lot of people can stay with. It's no fun when you enter a run with somebody well known and they speed off at a crazy pace and you don't see them at all. Oh, so my watch stopped. Why did that stop? Let's just turn it back on again. Heart rate disappeared for a minute, but there we are, we've got it back again. Yeah, Buenaventura says one camera is frozen. Let's see if I can get it back. So, does anybody know anything about Laura? I know that she has been a world champion in her time. Right, camera 3 is now working again, which is good. 10.7 kph at the moment. Ace Ventura says, you look fancy with this colour. Ace, this is the colour I wore for about 2 years. So, when we first started Zwift running, this was the Zwift running t-shirt. This was it, this was what we had. And they hadn't, because Zwift running was so new, they hadn't designed any Zwift running gear. So this was all we had. They just knocked this up really quickly and sent it out to a few of us so we could run in some Zwift gear. So this was all we had. So I ran in this for about a year, 2 years, before they eventually made some proper Zwift gear. Sneaky little hill, says Laura. Ryan Downey says he likes this top over the official one. Ryan Downey and Ryan Perring, I am really sorry, but I don't think I'm going to do the Alp tomorrow. I think I'm going to go out quite early and run on the hills nearby so I can get my run over and done with for the day. I would like to join you, and I will join you on the Alp one day. But it's just Sunday afternoons is kind of a difficult time for me, because it's family time, isn't it, and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to go out early tomorrow morning. Ryan Perring says sounds like a perfect double run day. Yeah, I'll do 20 miles in the morning and then 18 kilometres up the hill with you guys in the afternoon. Actually, I don't know how far I'll do in the morning. Anything between 10 and 20, probably nearer 10 than 20, but we'll see. Ace Ventura says, regards from offshore Stonehaven. Hello, I hope your internet is not too bad out there, buddy. So Laura Siddall is currently in Spain. Buenaventura is still missing us. You'll be back with us soon, buddy. So who wants to hear about my 5k this morning? Anybody? Any takers? No? You're not interested? Charming. I might tell you about it in a minute, whether you like it or not. You stink! Not that bad, I was alright this morning. Mr. M says, congratulations on your new 5k PB. And Leo says, go. Oh, and TV Guy does as well. Oh, bless you. Now, I hope you're just not saying that just because I looked sad just then. So Laura Siddall, triathlon world champ, age group world champ, I think as well. Is running at around about 11 kilometers per hour. And we are almost halfway through her 40-minute run with Laura. 17 hours of Kona run. We're not running for 17 hours, but it's called 17 hours of Kona because 17 hours is the cut-off for the Kona World Championship Triathlon Ironman. Is it an Ironman? It's not an Ironman, is it? It's not an official Ironman event. It's just it's the World Championship event, isn't it? PF on YouTube says, hi Stephen, has Zwift been in touch or sponsor you at all? You do push their brand? Yes, I mean, I am contracted by Zwift to do live streaming and some other content, some other bits of content. So yes, no, I do get paid by Zwift to provide content for Zwift. So there is a brand loyalty there, has to be said. But I try to be impartial. So if there's stuff that's wrong with Zwift, you know, I am the first to tell them. You know, we've been banging on about race results and timings for, well, I was going to say months, but it is almost years now. Because the times are always wrong. If you enter a race in Zwift and you finish, look at your time, and it's wrong. Always wrong. So there are things wrong with Zwift, and I will be the first to tell them that. But yeah, full disclosure, I am contracted to Zwift. Well, Ryan, I know it's an Ironman distance. I know it's a full Ironman distance, but is it actually the Ironman brand? I mean, I know it was the first full distance triathlon. I know what Kona is, but for the life of me, I don't know. Actually, I can't remember if it's actually run by Ironman or not. So Ryan Perring says, so when we run with you on your streams, we are entitled to a cut. Okay, I'll be writing the checks out this evening and sending them on to you all. So Ryan, it is run by the Ironman organisation then? Is that what you're telling me? That's the original Ironman, as in the brand Ironman. PF says, I gave up with foot sensors and use an app to control the pace. Zwift should add a plus and minus on screen to control the avatar. All right, Ryan. I'm shown up by Ryan, and Ryan, I can tell, is absolutely disgusted that I don't know it's an Ironman brand. I mean, I know that Kona is the full distance Ironman length to do. I know it's the triathlon that every triathlete wants to do. I know it's the pinnacle of triathlons. I know that. What I didn't know, and I know it was the first one but I just didn't know that it was organised and run by the Ironman brand. But I'm quite happy for you to be disgusted with me. It's fine. Ryan says stop talking. I'll stop talking. I was going to tell you about my 5k anyway. Let's talk about Ironman races and more talk about 5k races. Because I've literally only got 17 minutes to talk about it. And you know me. It'll take me longer than that. Right, both the Ryans are laughing their heads off at me now. Because I've made a total fool of myself. Oh, and now Mr. M says, how did Mrs. C do in her race? Fine. Whatever. So Mrs. C has not been in full training for long. So she wasn't fully trained up for this race. And I sprung the race on her about 2 days ago. I said, shall we go and do a 5k race in London on Saturday? So she agreed to it. And she did fantastically well. So Victoria's PB over 5k, I think is 23, something like 23:20 or 23:15 or something. And today she did 23:42, 23:42. So really 25-30 seconds away from her PB. So that can't be bad, can it? Not bad at all. So she did really well, and she is really pleased. Even though she didn't get a PB, she's really pleased with that. Me, because I know you're all dying to know, but I am modest. I don't like to talk about what I've been doing, and you know me, I don't go on about myself very much at all. Shut up. 18:33, massive PB for me. Very pleased indeed. And when I stopped the watch, it was about 80 meters further than 5k, according to my watch anyway. So, although actually, having looked at lots of other people's results, everyone's got a lot of varying distances. So some people have got less than 5k. Some people have got more than 5k. I think I measured about 5.08 kilometers, so 80 meters or so longer. Now, if you look at my Strava says that I did 18 minutes and 14 seconds for 5k. So whatever, but I'm going to take 18 minutes 33 as my new 5k PB, and it's just about what I've done on Zwift. I think my fastest on Zwift is 18:29 or 18:30 for a 5k on Zwift. So I do prefer to take my 5ks and my PBs from outdoors. I don't really like having PBs on the treadmill. So I'm happy to say that my PB for 5k is well and truly outdoors. Carol Rushworth says, well done to you both, excellent day. TV Guy AU says, good on Mrs. C and well done Stephen. Tina Beard says, I think she's brilliant. She meaning Victoria, presumably not me. Yeah, big chuck up Stephen. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be on Zwift. Racked up over 1,000 kilometres on it now. Nice one. So the loyalties work. Cheers, Paul. That's what we're all about, really. It's just getting more people running. And actually, it doesn't really matter if you're running on Zwift or not. We just want to encourage people to get their trainers on and get running. Whether it's on the treadmill, or outside, on Zwift or not on Zwift. I have fallen behind a little, so I'll just catch the guys up. Carol Rushworth says it kind of shows that treadmill running is indeed harder. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of still on the fence a little bit about it. Because, I don't know, I think they're possibly really close. Certainly on my treadmill. I think my treadmill really does mimic road running really well. And like I say, I run at 0%. I don't run at this 1% malarkey. And it's still hard. But what I'm pleased about is that my indoor times and my outdoor times do seem to be matching up for a lot of distances. I haven't quite managed my marathon PB on the treadmill yet. And that will be one thing to try and do one day. So my marathon PB is a good 15 minutes quicker outdoors than it is on the treadmill. But I don't think I've ever really gone for it on the treadmill. Right, Paul Doyle reckons if I rest for 2 days I can then go and do an 18-minute 5k. Well, if you look at my heart rate, Paul, for today's run, I don't even get into anaerobic zone. So there is more there, I think. But like you say, I've put in so many miles recently that my legs are probably quite fatigued. And so if I did have a few days rest before doing a fast 5 or a fast 10k, yeah, I think there could well be more in there. Victoria says, thank you everyone, I genuinely think Zwift is helping me with my speed work. Yeah. PF Paul says he definitely wouldn't run on a treadmill if it wasn't for Zwift. Carol says your effort to do 18:33 on the treadmill would be harder than your effort outside today. Yes, I agree, Carol, but I think only a little bit harder. If I've got some Strava and some Training Peaks data that I'm going to pore over the next few days and have a look at. But initially looking at it, my heart rate on average is about the same. But my max heart rate actually was higher on the treadmill for one of the Spanish 5Ks that was around about the same time. But yes, I mean, it's definitely an interesting thing to look at. Laura Siddall says, I started choosing my post-lockdown hairdos from the Zwift avatars. Ryan Herring says, Zwift is great for livening up treadmill running. The social aspect is the best part of it. Yeah, I totally agree with that as well, Ryan. But I think that adds to making your treadmill running easier. If you're, like this, I mean, if I didn't have Zwift, I'd just be standing on this treadmill, either watching a video or just letting my own thoughts run through my head. But like this, I'm talking to you guys, I'm chatting, I'm messaging on the screen. And that's making the time go quicker. Victoria wants you all to know that we both finished first in our age categories. So yeah, both Victoria and I finished first in our age categories this morning in our 5Ks. But to be fair, there were only 4 people in my age category. Oh, Ryan. Oh, we've got Ryan love going on. Ryan Perring says, I can't begin to imagine my life without Downey. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, you two need to get a hotel room, seriously. Paul says he gets a little bit of vertigo when he goes outside running because he runs so much on Zwift. So used to running on the treadmill. I would have thought you'd get more vertigo on the treadmill with looking at the screen. A lot of people say looking at the screen gives them a bit of an imbalance. Carol Rushworth says, I agree, Ryan. If it wasn't for Zwift, I wouldn't be running on my treadmill. I'm not getting into that, Ryan. I am not getting into that discussion. What you guys do in a hotel room is entirely up to none of my business. Okay? I do not want photographs on Twitter or private messaged to me either, because I know you would do it. Look, we've only got 5 minutes left, so if you have any burning questions about anything Zwift related or anything to do with running, I mean, you can ask me any question you like that's not to do with running, but I can't guarantee I'll have an answer. If it's to do with running, I may be able to find something, some kind of answer to give you.
Ride on!
Walters, thank you very much for the ride on. If you have been dropping ride-ons to me during the run, thank you very much. I haven't really been taking much notice of what's going on the screen, to be honest, so I'm looking at your chat all the time. And because of that, the run has gone really quickly. So we're going to get 7 kilometres done tonight at a nice steady pace, about 5:20, 11-ish kilometres an hour. And we're going round and round the volcano. Laura says, thanks for joining me, everyone, and I've said it's been lovely, if a little volcano-y. TV Guy AU says, what's your Zwift Academy run plans? Well, I am doing Zwift Academy, and I'm going to try and finish the course, finish the programme, and of course I will stream every run I do, and I will try and see if I can stream some other ones as well. Victoria, Laura says, a little volcano-y, yes. I'm glad she got my pun. Victoria will be doing Zwift Run Academy as well, I think. And so maybe we'll stream some her runs if she doesn't mind. PF says, Paul says, here's my question. My treadmill's maxed out at 14 kilometres an hour. I want to go faster, what should I buy? Depends how much money you've got to spend. Or, if you've got 1,000 UK pounds, then I would go for the Noble Pro Elite. I think it's called the Noble Pro Elite. There's a Noble Pro treadmill, which is £1,000, which is the best deal on a smart treadmill that you can get. No limits, go for a Woodway, which is about £5,000 to £10,000. And my treadmill is a Techno Gym My Run, and that's about 3,500. So any of those, if you've got if there's no limit on the amount of money you spend, get a Woodway. If your budget is limited, try and stretch to a Noble Pro at £1,000. And if you're in the middle, get yourself a My Run, a Techno Gym My Run. Noble Pro Elite 8, that's the one to go for, Mr. M, thank you very much. Yeah, if you're looking at the My Run, absolutely, I absolutely love this treadmill. And I've been using it now for 2-3 years, and it is absolutely brilliant in terms of road feel. Like the discussion we've been having earlier about it matching your outdoor speeds. It's like that, really. You know, you run on this, and you know that you are, as best as possible, replicating the kind of runs you do outdoors in terms of your heart rate at certain speeds. It is almost the same. So, like I was saying to Carol earlier, I've got 1 or 2 5k full efforts on the treadmill where I've done around about 18.5 minutes, and my average heart rate for those runs on the treadmill is 166 BPM, and my average heart rate for today's run outdoors at 18 minutes 30 was 166 BPM, exactly the same. Now my max heart rate was slightly higher indoors than outdoors. And there we are, look at that, all done. Have we done 7k? Yes, we've done 7k. Let's just walk it out to 7.5k. No, you couldn't, Ryan. Zwift pay me. Zwift pay me, and I can't afford a Woodway. They don't pay that much. Right. So there we are. We're just going to walk it out to get to 7.5k just for the XP points, and then that's us done for Saturday night. I don't think I'll be on tomorrow. I think I'm going to take a day off from Zwift tomorrow. I'll go out in the morning and do a run over the hills. Well, depending on whether my wife lets me or not. She might not let me out of the house. And then we'll be back on for Monday Run Club tomorrow, Monday evening. Atana 007. All the best for 5k. You can stream it live. I will, yeah, like I say, I will stream all the Zwift Run Academy runs and the races. I will stream them live. And like I say, some of Victoria's Zwift Academy runs I will do live as well. Paul says if Zwift pay me, I would run on bubble wrap. Oh dear, okay. Paul also says, surely Zwift are about to launch a Zwift treadmill. Not yet. I think they will. But it's going to be a year or even maybe 2 year. Carol says tomorrow is Sunday. Yeah, so I'm not going to run tomorrow, but then I'll be back on Monday for Monday Run Club, not tomorrow. Yeah. I know, oh, Carol, I know, but I've said to Ryan, I think it's just a Sunday afternoon is an awkward time. I think I'm just going to go out in the morning, outside, do a run on the hills, and then I can spend the rest of the day with Victoria and the kids and whatever, and just have an easy afternoon. I know I kind of said I would do it, but I think I might not. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, Ryan Perring says, everyone's now having a go at me for not doing the Alp tomorrow. Look, it's right. It's 95% that I won't do it. But if for some reason, if I don't get out of bed in the morning, or I'll see what happens. Oh dear. I'm sorry. Look, let's just see, okay? Oh dear. Now, what's good? See, I'm now at 7.6k. It's only 400 metres to 8k. Let's just jog out to 8k, for goodness sake, now we're here. Nice and slowly. Paul is now drunk, having drunk 4 glasses of wine. He says, what's the Alp? Okay, so the Alp is the Alpe de Zwift, and it is the second highest mountain in Zwift. It's a 1,000 metre climb, and it takes 18 kilometres from where you get dropped as a runner. You have to run through the jungle a little bit, and then you get to a 12-kilometre climb up the mountain. And if you want to be cool, you put your incline on the treadmill and you do it properly. Now, Ryan does this every week. Ryan Downey, with his backpackers, Sunday afternoon. Well, it's Sunday morning for him, but Sunday afternoon in the UK group. And to my shame, I have never joined the backpackers run. And I kind of half indicated that Paul says a mountain at 0% I'm in. What was I going to say? Yeah, so I kind of half said that I might do it this weekend. Leo says I'll do it if you do it. I honestly, right, I'm 90% not going to do it. I'm 90% going outside on the hills tomorrow morning. But if that changes, I will let you all know on the Zwift Runners Facebook page. Carol's calling me a wimp. Hey, that's a point. Maybe Victoria will do it. No, it's oh no, it should be on the companion app, shouldn't it, Ryan? It's called Backpacking Up the Alp. Ryan Perring, it'll be his first Alp as well. Okay. We'll see. I kind of feel like I want to get my running week over and done with in the morning tomorrow. Right, look, that's 8 kilometres done now. Oh, Susanna's now saying go. Carol's noticed that earlier on I said it was 95% that I'm not doing it, and then I said it's 90% that I'm not doing it. It's now 85% that I'm not doing it, okay? Ryan Perring says change the clock and it'll still be morning. I hate you lot. You're so mean. You're essentially you're just bullying me now, aren't you? This is school ground bullying, and I am going to report you all to the headmaster. Who I don't know who the headmaster is. Is that my wife? Is she the headmaster? Anyway, right, look, I'm going now. I'm off. I'm finished. I've done 8k. I'm not doing any more today. I am doing some tomorrow. Whether it's on the treadmill or outdoors, I do not know. It's 80% is outdoors and 20% I'm going to be doing it indoors. Suzanne, it's pressure. Stephen feeling the pressure. Yeah, I know. Carol says stop moaning. Right, before you lot have any more of a go at me, I'm out of here. Okay? I love you all, and I'll see you. I nearly said tomorrow. I nearly said see you tomorrow. I'll see you all on Monday for Monday Run Club 7:30. Take care. Bye.